All three of these, I will make my comments to all three of them as a whole because they are interrelated and the issues behind me making these motions are all the same. And that goes back to the comment I made originally when we were discussing the amendment from Commissioner Eckert on the non-union bargaining unit wages. As I pointed out then, we have had a disparity for a number of years between the growth in wages for our union employees versus the non-union employees. I gave the statistics and I'll repeat them again. In 2010, we have union employees getting a 4% general wage increase. We also have union employees that are eligible for a 5% step increase. We had roughly 500 employees in 2010 that were in collective bargaining units that fell into those two categories. So we had 500 employees this year get a 9% increase in their wages at the same time while the county's revenue remained flat, and those seniors that are on Social Security got a 0% increase. This to me is where the money is and where the change needs to be made and where the equity needs to be brought to bear. For 2011, I think it is appropriate that given the fact that our union employees have had a substantial run and enjoyed some largesse over the past several years, that for 2011, that they contribute their fair share and agree to a 0% increase for general wages, a 0% increase for step, and that they forego their longevity pay, which is just, in other words, another word for an annual bonus, an additional salary that, by the way, counts towards their pension, which, if you're not aware, pension for county employees, they are eligible to retire at age 55 with a mere 20 years of service. Also in their contracts, they have sick days ranging anywhere from 6 to 10 days per year that allows them to accumulate up to 60 or 100 sick days in total. Those are just a few of the things that are built into the contracts that I think, as several have mentioned, can no longer be sustained in this current environment. And I think it's time for us to make a change, and we need to start doing that in 2011. Thank you.
So I take it, though, that even if the board would pass this, there still is a collective bargaining process that would be observed and followed, correct?
That is correct. And one way of looking at this amendment, as you correctly pointed out, even if these do pass, we cannot take those savings as a reduction in the millage rate because these savings are contingent upon a future event. It's only the city of Allentown that can bank on future events to balance their budget in the current year. This does not impact that.
A county employee. And a lot of the audience thinks we make a lot of money, and we don't. My salary is $32,000 a year. I've been working for Cedarbrook for 22 years. That's not a lot of money. So I don't know, we fought to get a union so we would get a percentage that was decent to us so we could live. For years, we did not have a union. We got 2%, we got 1.5%. We paid for our health care coverage. We do pay towards that. I don't know, members in the audience think we make a lot of money. $32,000 a year to raise a family is not a lot of money. And when the county taxes go up, I have to pay them too. So that's something to consider. That's all I wanted to say.
Raise suspicion of any politician who's in a position of negotiating a contract with a union that pays for much of his campaigning and those of his associates.
Over my 55 years of work, I've been laid off twice. I've had my salary cut 10% over the years. I've had it frozen. So I've gone through a lot of these things. And it seems to me it's time that you step up now. And we've just got to have a 5 to 10% reduction in salaries and wages across the board, period.
I also want to amend, I would want you to vote for the amendment, and I would also like to add to it, if they don't want to go for a pay freeze, look to privatize as much as possible. We can do it better in private industry.